YouTube is Rico, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on, man. We got UK rapper's longest prison sentence. So you already know what time it is, man. If you're brand new to the channel or you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about our channel, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And also make sure you guys smash that like button and comment on this video to help the video get recommended to a larger audience of people and hopefully bring in new supporters to the channel as well. And also be sure to turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss out on the new uploads. And to be sure you don't miss out on the new uploads, check out our channel every day before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning. And also follow my IG at LMERico and help me get to 500 followers. Other than that, man, y'all see what's going on. So let me start the screen record. Oh yeah, and don't forget we on the ground to 5K. Simple. About to hit 2,000 real soon. Hold on now. All right, there we go. Starting video now.
The UK drill scene can get pretty wild. Stabbing, kidnapping, murder, and extortion are all common, and drill rappers are known to make music about real crimes going on in the streets. But when you're living that life and telling the world about it at the same time, it's not hard for the feds to figure it out. Here's a look at a few drill rappers who got arrested for murder. Joobz. Joobz is a rapper from North London who's associated with the NPK drill gang. NPK, also known as Sin Squad, is a group based around the Northumberland Park and Park Lane area of Tottenham in the N17 postcode. They're one of the most well-known gangs in the UK drill scene and beef with rival crews like NPK, Woodgreen, and TPL. Joobz was one of NPK's top hitters and one of the most respected gang members in North London. He's also one of the group's most skilled rappers and had an effortless flow and unique wordplay that set him apart from many other drill artists. But like many talented drill artists, he never got a chance to truly shine because he was arrested for murder before blowing up as a rapper. On December 22nd, 2018, Joobz, along with 3 other teenagers, were arrested for the murder of Wilhelm Mendes, a 25-year-old boxer. The other 3 with him that night were other NPK members Stewie, Scatty, and Rels. They were all under 18 at the time, with the youngest being just 15 years old. Mendes was a Portuguese national who was just getting off work at his job as a porter in a restaurant. The crew was hanging around outside the Tottenham High Road bus stop after they had just beat up and robbed 2 boys aged 18 and 19 who were waiting for the bus.
So they was on demon time that whole day. That's crazy.
They then made their way to the Bruce Road station where they spotted Mendes and decided to attack him next. Mendes, who was an amateur boxer, tried to fight him off. Even though it was 4 versus 1, Mendes was older and knew how to fight, so he managed to beat up the younger 2, Rels and Stewie. But he didn't realize that Scatty had 2 blades on him. He passed one of them to Joobz, and they both chased him into an alley. They grabbed the bag he had and then stabbed him to death outside the McDonald's.
And this is why people wonder why don't nobody really fight no more, man. Because at the end of the day, nowadays, people can't take their L's and go home and go about their business. Nowadays, shoot, you beat somebody up, now they gonna want to kill you, shoot you, and all type of crazy shit. So when y'all be wondering why the gun violence is so high, it's because of stuff like this. It's people that probably don't mind fighting for real, boxing, whatever the case is, and really is good at boxing or whatever, and yet they don't do it because of the simple fact. Nowadays, you just don't know if the next person is going to take their L and go home if you beat them in a fight. They might, oh, no, I'm going to shoot you or this and that and the other. So now you can't take no chances, man. It's just that simple. That's just the way it is now. It can't be like the old days where you just meet up somewhere, box, and then go about y'all business and possibly be friends afterwards and shit like that. Because nowadays, y'all know how it is. When you get beat up, now you got people clowning you, females probably clowning you, and people not taking you serious no more, stuff like that. So it's a lot of factors into why people don't box no more like that. So other than that, let's continue on.
CCTV footage from outside the restaurant showed the 2 older boys fist bump and then casually walk away, leaving Mendes to bleed out in the street. The 4 boys were later caught and arrested. Stewie and Rels were only 15 at the time of the crime, but were not found guilty of murder or were charged with robbery. One was sent to a youth rehabilitation center, and the other was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Joobz pled guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Scatty pled guilty to murder and was sentenced to 17 years behind bars. With Joobz being locked up, NPK not only lost one of its most certified members, but it also lost one of its most talented rappers. On the track Op Block Tour, Joobz could be heard rapping about a similar stabbing. It's not clear if he's talking about the murder that got him locked up, but he describes it in such vivid detail that you can tell he's not playing around.
And for y'all that's in the streets, if y'all got a homie of y'all's that's talented at rapping and stuff, and he really got some potential and got clout or whatever for the music and shit, y'all gotta normalize making that person not a part of the street shit, man. Because at the end of the day, we all know people want to be validated in the streets and stuff like that, and be known for crimes and whatever the case is, so people know that they really like that for real and stuff. But if you got the potential to be somebody and go far with the music and shit, and you in the streets, you need to pretty much be behind the front lines. Like, the people that ain't really got nothing going for themselves or anything of that nature, like that person with the potential to go crazy and be a multi-millionaire, that person needs to pretty much be out the way. And the people that don't should be the ones that's doing stuff like this. Because at the end of the day, you never know when you might need somebody to bail you out or get you a good ass lawyer and stuff to beat the case and stuff like that. So what good is it gonna do y'all if not only you locked up, and also the person that got the potential to be a multi-millionaire is locked up? Because once he get locked up, now the potential to make money is gone, and to have a name in the music world or to be known around the world or whatever the case you want to say, man, because got locked up. Shit, you pretty much killed your career right then and there before you even got started. So, man, it's crazy, man. We lost a lot of talent to the jail system and stuff because they couldn't stay out the way and stuff like that, man. Y'all gotta start normalizing staying out the way if you definitely got something going for yourself. It's just that simple. But let's continue on.
Because they were under 18 at the time of the murder, it's likely that with good behavior, they won't serve the entire length of their sentences. But if old NPK beef forces them to go hard in prison, it may be a while before Scatty and Joobz are back on the street. If you thought that was wild, this next rapper stabbed 4 fans outside of a concert, killing one of them, and was arrested at the airport after fleeing to Greece. Scarz. Scarz is a rapper from the Hornsey area of London, associated with the 8th Gang, also known as Vilside or V8. They're known to beef with other North London gangs like 22 from Woodgreen and 3x3 from Edmonton. Scarz was one of the most prominent rappers from the 8th who was well known in North London. On August 25th, 2019, a grime rapper named Mo Stack was performing at the Gallery nightclub in Maidstone. Scarz was good friends with Mo Stack, and he went to the concert that night to support his boys. But being a well-known driller in the streets of London, Scarz didn't go to the show unarmed. He pulled up with a huge machete in case anything popped off. It's not entirely clear what happened that night, but after the performance, a huge brawl broke out in the street outside the club. The fight was captured on CCTV footage as well as cell phone video. The video shows punches and kicks being thrown, people being tossed to the ground and jumped, and all kinds of mayhem.
And I remember seeing this video. Yeah, that was crazy, man. At the end of the day, you pretty much already submitted yo fucking you pretty much already submitted what's about to happen. Because once you get caught, the police gonna see this video and they, definitely locking him up. So he didn't really do too good at staying out the way and not being identified and stuff, because he's pretty much already known and stuff. So of course, if he was doing something like this, of course people was probably gonna peep you out and point you out and shit like that to the police and say, oh yeah, this was such and such. And now there you go, shit. Now you pretty much known to have done a crime and stuff like this, and they ain't not gonna hold back on going after you and shit like that. They gonna definitely try to get you locked up for a long, long time. Especially with the way all of this was going on. Like, they gonna look at that like, yeah, nah, gotta get them out of there. But let's continue on.
At one point, you can see Scarz stab a person on the ground a few times and then run away with the machete in his hand and a sweatshirt over his face. In total, 4 people were stabbed and 1 was killed. The murder victim's name was Andre Bent. He happened to be the cousin of Bradley McIntosh from the pop group S Club 7. All of the victims were civilians, and the fight does not seem to be gang-related, other than the fact that Scarz was associated with—
Nah, I didn't know that about the victim. That's crazy, man. Damn.
the 8th. Right after the murder, Scarz fled the country and went to Greece. But he didn't even last a week and returned to London 6 days later. By then, the police had already figured out that he was the prime suspect and were waiting for him on the tarmac when he landed back in the UK. According to authorities, they used his music as a way to track him and identify him as the attacker in the video. His lawyers tried to argue that he was acting in self-defense. Scarz and his crew had been attacked first outside the club. 2 other knives were later recovered at the crime scene, and according to his defense team, one of his friends had been stabbed leading up to the attack. Scarz was just 16 at the time, and they argued that he was traumatized and acted in the heat of the moment. But the fact that he brought a giant machete to a concert wasn't a great look. The judge also noted that after getting convicted, Scarz got his hands on a phone where he recorded a rap that was released to the internet. He brags about the killing in normal drill fashion and shows little remorse for his actions. The family of Andre Bent also revealed that his fiancée was pregnant and she was going to tell him the next morning, but never got a chance.
Man, that's just sad, bro. Like, you literally was about to find out some good news about you having one on the way, but ultimately had this unfortunate situation happen. That's just sad, bro. Nowadays, you can't even just go out and enjoy yourself no more, man. There'd be too much shit going on. That's why a lot of people like me, I don't go out like that no more just because of simple shit. Like, look at this. Can't even go party like that no more. You got people want to be on their street shit 24/7, gotta be a tough guy and stuff. And then want to just literally, as soon as something pop off, want to pull out guns and shit, start shooting and all that type of crazy shit. So nowadays, I just stay out the way just because of simple shit like this. I don't want to be a victim, and when I got stuff, I know that I got stuff going for me and stuff like that and shit to look forward to. So what good is it me being took away too soon or ending up in jail for protecting myself or something of that nature? Just something crazy happened where I got to do something and get me locked up. So at the end of the day, man, if you go out, just hope and pray that ain't nothing going on. And if you can legally protect yourself, do so. Simple. Because the way shit is now, if you legally able to protect yourself, you need to. Because you just never know. But let's continue on.
9 other people were also arrested for the brawl and charged with a violence disorder. Their sentences ranged from 1 to 3 years. But Scarz was the only one charged with murder. Despite his claims of self-defense, he was found guilty and sentenced to 20 years in prison. It's hard to tell what really went down that night. What seems most likely is that Scarz and his group were pressed over some gang shit and reacted. Once the brawl broke out, it was probably hard to tell who was who, and he may have stabbed civilians by accident, thinking they were the ops. Or maybe the fight went down, and Scarz just wanted to gain some internet clout by chefing up anyone he can get his hands on. He probably thought he could just skirt off to Greece and start over. But being a teenager with limited funds, who wasn't able to use their true identity in a foreign country, probably wasn't as easy as he thought it would be, which is why he returned to London. Unfortunately, London lost another talented rapper. But that's what happens when you bring a machete with you on a regular night out. But if you thought that was crazy, these next rappers stabbed a dude.
I see he left out a key fact, and that was that his mom actually was threatened by the police to pretty much go to prison for him because of the simple fact they found out she bought him the plane ticket to leave to Greece and stuff like that. So once they found that out, they pretty much told her to get contact with him and let him know, hey, if you don't come back, I gotta go to prison for you and do that time. So that's what he did. He ended up coming back so that way she could avoid going to prison for him and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know if he probably left out things earlier in the video, because this I remember so clearly, and because of the simple fact, I forgot why. Like, I just remember this situation so much more than a lot of the other situations and other videos and stuff. Maybe because I had seen and heard about this in plenty of times and other videos that I reacted to and stuff like that. So that's how I was able to peep that he missed that fact. But if he got anything else that he missed out that I don't touch on, or whatever the case is, just comment down below what he left out and stuff like that. Other than that, so far everything is good. But yeah, man, other than that, let's continue on.
The death after a minor argument in a KFC. VD and Dopey. VD and Dopey are 2 artists from South London associated with the RP, or Rappel Park Gang, also known as 67. RP is based in the Rappel Park Estates in the borough of Lambeth and is known to beef with rival gangs like 410 and UTH. VD and Dopey are 2 rappers associated with RP, known for tracks like Local Shops, where they rap about slashing ops and going hard in the streets. VD even starts up the verse by rapping, "I don't run my mouth, I just swing my shank," which is exactly what ended up getting him a murder charge. On September 10th, 2019, BD and Dopey were with some other dudes from their neighborhood at a KFC on Edgware Road in central London. Another man named Yusuf Beeger, a business student at the nearby city of Westminster College, was meeting his cousin on his lunch break. BP and Dopey were arguing with the girl inside the KFC, and Yusuf and his cousin stepped in to defend her. They argued with the gang for about 30 minutes before the rappers got fed up and stabbed Yusuf to death on the pavement outside. CCTV footage from inside the KFC showed the whole thing go down, plus there were several witnesses. The rappers were quickly arrested and tried at the Old Bailey Court in London. Yusuf was only 17 at the time and had no ties to any gangs. It was just a petty argument that unfortunately led to bloodshed, and an innocent bystander lost his life just because he stood up for a female. It's not clear what sparked the argument or how disrespectful it got, but it was still a pretty vicious attack for something that could have been left as an argument or at most a fist fight. 6 men in total were arrested for the murder. The trial originally started back in March 2020, but was delayed due to coronavirus. It was the first case to come before the court after the break. 3 of the boys in the group were acquitted of the murder, but 1 was charged with manslaughter, and the other 2 were charged with murder and possession of a deadly weapon. Dopey was one of the group members who were allowed to walk, but VD was not so lucky and was sentenced to life. Rumors that someone in the crew snitched were going around because half of them were acquitted and the other half got hit with pretty harsh sentences. But the whole thing was also captured on camera, so what's more likely is that the prosecutors didn't have enough evidence to convict all 6. So
yeah, at that point, you pretty much asked to go to jail for the rest of your life because they literally got you on camera, and the way this stuff was going down definitely wasn't a good look at all. So once the judges and all of them saw that shit, they just knew you wasn't on no good type of time, and like you was just on demon time, simple. So they tried to get you up out of there pretty much at the end of the day. Well, they did, so now you got a life sentence. Crazy, man. Like I said, man, you got potential. Can't be doing stuff like this. Let the other people that ain't got nothing going on and stuff do that. Yeah, you want to be valid. You want to be valid and stuff like that in the streets, but at the end of the day, do you really want to take that type of risk where you got to go to jail and possibly serve the rest of your life in there and live by somebody else's rules 24/7? No, I wouldn't. So at the end of the day, just stay out the way if you got the potential to be somebody, because you just never know. Other than that, let's continue on.
So they focused on the ones who did the stabbing. Yusuf's death was pretty senseless and could have been avoided, but in the world of drill, no one is truly safe, not even civilians. Yusuf most likely didn't know what he was getting himself into when he started an argument with a group of active gang members. But if that wasn't crazy enough, these next rappers stabbed an innocent music producer to death in broad daylight after confusing him for an op. Nico and KK. Nico and KK are 2 rappers and gang members from South London. Nico is associated with the Show or Shower Gang, which is just older members of the crew 814. KK is associated with B-Side, also known as 785, a gang based in Bellingham. B-Side and Show 814 are allies and are known to be for groups like Zone 2 and Splash Gang. Nico and KK even appeared together in a track called Splash, where they dish Splash Gang and let them know what will happen if they catch him in public. On February 24, 2017, KK and Nico decided to do a ride out in South London, a UK street term for going out hunting for ops. They came across a group of Splash gang members and decided to make a move. First, 2 guys on mopeds rolled up and pointed guns at the group. They turned to run away, but the attackers chased them down and caught the slowest one, stabbing him to death. It was later revealed that the victim was not a member of Splash Gang, but just an innocent music producer named Dean Pascal, who just happened to be in the area because he was helping his friends shoot a music video. The 2 rappers he was helping did have ties to Splash Gang, and Dean was killed in a case of mistaken identity. They stabbed Dean 14 times in broad daylight. He attempted to get some help and stumbled down the road in front of a group of parents walking their children to school, but bled out before paramedics could arrive. Nico was arrested for the murder shortly after, but KK fled to Jamaica to try to hide out. Just like Scarz, he didn't make it long abroad and eventually returned to the UK, where he was immediately arrested. Nino and KK were charged with murder as well as possession of a deadly weapon. They were both found guilty in court. KK was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 17 years, and Nico was sentenced to life with a minimum of 20 years. There was a rumor floating around that while in Jamaica, KK called Nico, who's his cousin, and told him to snitch to get a lighter sentence. But this is unconfirmed internet gossip. 2 other B-Side affiliates who also participated in the attack were found guilty.
Pretty much a lot of people out in the scene that talked about this situation or did a video on it said that it was pretty much a fact that he did that. So he pretty much was looking out for his homies just so his homie wouldn't get a long prison sentence like him and stuff. So he was able to get his homie a way to pretty much take less years instead of the amount that he originally was going to get. But other than that, let's continue on.
and given a life sentence in a separate trial. A fifth defendant who was arrested for the crime was found innocent and allowed to walk. Dean's murder was just another tragic example of knife crime in the UK getting out of control. He wasn't killed for anything that he said or did, just because he happened to be hanging around with the wrong people at the wrong time. But in the world of drill, anything can happen, especially when affiliated with active gangs, even if it's strictly business. You can get caught in the line of fire. If you like this video, we have many more on our channel. From UK rappers arrested.
And that's pretty much the end of this video, man. Yeah, man. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the streets, man. Even if you a civilian, you can get caught up in the bullshit that's going on in the streets. So at the end of the day, like I said, if you're legally able to protect yourself, go ahead, do that. Stay out the way as much as possible. And if you got the potential to be somebody and you in the streets, you shouldn't be the ones committing the crimes and shit like that. You the one that need to be, you know, behind the front lines. Because like I said, if you're trying to take care of your guys and stuff like that, they get jammed up, you'll be able to help bail them out or get them a good-ass lawyer or something like that. But if y'all go to jail, like both of y'all go to jail, it ain't gonna do y'all no good, because now the money maker pretty much is in jail with you and shit, and that's stopping him from getting bigger or going crazy with the music and stuff and making a lot of money and stuff like that to help take care of y'all and get y'all out the hoods and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is, though. Y'all know what comes with being in the streets. But that's pretty much the end of this video, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about our channel. Hopefully they become supporters. And hopefully this video get recommended to a larger audience as well, and also bring in new supporters to the channel. And turn on your post notifications so you guys don't miss out on new uploads. And to be sure you don't miss out on our new uploads, check out our channel every day before y'all go to bed or when y'all wake up in the morning. And follow my IG at LMERico and help me get to 500 followers. With all that being said, man, that's the end of this video, and I'm gonna catch y'all later on with more. Peace.